episode 131 of the Concealed Taco Dudes podcast. Woo! Tonight, or not tonight, it feels like it's nighttime.
It depends on when you're listening to this.
I guess it could be nighttime.
Good morning to all those who wake up to the podcast.
Good evening. So tonight, or again, dang it, it's just Jason and me.
Yeah.
Taco.
Yep. Just the two of us.
If I were Stan, I'd be like, just the two of us. But I'd sing it in a tone that you can't tell what song it is.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Stan, what are you singing?
That's the wrong tone. Wrong tune.
Anyways. So, we're just here at the Taco Studios. Yeah, we've had a very eventful weekend.
Yes.
I think everybody on the cast.
I just got back in town late last night myself.
Yeah. I went shooting twice this weekend.
Wow.
And we could talk about that a little later.
Sure.
What we did with guns.
Yeah.
But we're hoping to keep this one to a shorter episode.
It needs to be brief. We have a tight schedule today.
Yeah. But we love our listeners so much that we're sacrificing our lunch break.
Yes.
To record this.
We're starving ourselves for you.
Yes. So, let's mention the sponsors.
Okay. NOE Bullet Molds, NOEBulletMolds.com. They make bullet molds.
The best.
The best bullet molds. Use the discount code FLT001 for 10% off.
I think so.
And that includes Dillon presses and everything else. So go check them out. Utah Air Guns at UtahAirGuns.com. The finest quality and customer service in the airgun industry.
Correct.
Use the discount code AirCandy. You get free shipping and free turret stickers. Black Ice Coatings at BlackIceCoatings.com.
The best gun finishes in the biz.
Or whatever else you want them to coat or finish.
Softball helmets.
Yeah.
Car parts.
Bicycles.
Yeah. Glow-in-the-dark bikes.
Yeah. Anyway, check them out. Call them up and tell them you want it slickery.
Slickery.
Just because it's fun to say.
All right.
And then you got Magholder at magholder.com. The best horizontal magazine carriers out there. For a lot of people listening, they've been wanting a double stack 45 and 10 millimeter, and I believe he is taking pre-orders on those now. So those must be in production. But check out the website at magholder.com to confirm that.
And what coupon code should they use?
They could use Get in the Van, I Have Candy, or How Deep Is Your Love. They're all pretty significant discounts, so go check them out. And last but not least, Concealment Solutions at concealmentsolutions.com. It's your one-stop holster shop. Can't even speak today. Anyway, lots of good stuff there. Adding more stuff all the time. Use the discount code SHOWMETHECANDY and you'll get 15% off your entire order, and I'll throw in some swag for you. Anyway, that's our sponsors in a nutshell.
That's the fastest we've ever done that.
It's pretty incredible.
Good job.
I've done it faster by myself because
right.
no one's distracted.
Because no one's... But wait.
Yeah. Anyway... Let's, do we want to jump right into what we did with guns, or do we want to talk about self-defense in the news?
Let's go with what we did with guns first.
Okay. Why don't you head out?
Did you do anything with guns?
Part of the reason I was gone this weekend, I was up in Idaho at my son's house. It's his birthday this weekend and his son's birthday, so we surprised him. Got an Airbnb just around the corner from their house and didn't tell him. And his wife's like, "We're going to breakfast. And it's in this house, in this basement." He's like, "What?" And so they walk in the house and we're all hiding, and the music came on and we surprised him. It was pretty cool. So
that's cool.
I spent the weekend with them, and I delivered my rubber band shotguns to my grandson. And
How old is he now?
He just turned 2.
Okay.
So not to where he can really manipulate them himself, but he had fun with them. More his dad had fun with them. Shooting down the army guys. I got him a bucket of army men and stuff too. And so anyway, that was about, I didn't really do much with guns. I did pick up a new gadget that came in the mail, and I'd never seen one of these before. A customer told me about one that he had. It's an electronic lighter. So it looks like some space age thing. You hit the button and these electrodes cross in an X, and I'm sorry, it lights stuff up fast.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
They're using the Ghostbuster technology by crossing the streams.
Yeah, crossing the streams.
Yes.
And it's in a waterproof little case. Looks kind of like a little Zippo. And you hit the button and can you hear it? My kids, I was in the kitchen, they're in the other room watching TV, and I opened it up and I hit the button and they all start screaming, what are you doing? I'm like, what? That high-pitched sound is horrible. And I can't hear anything. My wife, I'm like, can you hear anything? She's like, no. In the other room, every time I hit the button, they're like, stop that. So I don't know. Maybe I just blew out your eardrums with with that.
Maybe it's a new torture device for your kids.
Hey, better push the button.
Make me some holsters. Otherwise, I'm going to push the button.
There you go. Anyway, I'm going to play with this, see what I think. It's a USB rechargeable battery that uses electricity. Little, lightning bolts to light up whatever you're lighting. It's pretty cool. Anyway. That's about all I did.
So I went shooting twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like back-to-back shooting days, which was pretty cool.
Nice.
And cold.
Yeah.
So we went out to family property out in the mountains of Duchesne area.
Yeah.
Okay, here's kind of a funny story. My dad was in town, and he brought his handgun safe.
Okay.
It ran out of batteries.
Oh, no.
So he couldn't open it.
So how do you get into it when that happens?
He has a key. But he didn't have the key.
He left the key at home.
Yeah, so he has to find the key.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, that was kind of a little bit of a disappointment because he drove,
That's like showing up to shoot and not having any ammo.
Yeah.
I've done that before.
Or having like a red dotted AR-15 and you pull it out and the battery's dead and you don't have batteries in the grip.
Yeah.
You're like, oh crap, I can't shoot this.
Yeah. That reminds me, I need to change the battery in my AR.
Yeah, so we ended up shooting. He still brought some other guns too.
Yeah.
And he brought his 44 mag. I think it was a Super Blackhawk. So it was like an older Ruger revolver, double action. And let's see, what else did he have? I think he had, it was an old Winchester 30-06.
Nice.
And so he had some...
Bolt action?
Yeah, bolt action.
Cool.
I had given him some surplus, like it was Greek surplus, like for, the Garand ammo.
So it was extra oily?
No, it was just extra inaccurate for some reason. He was like missing these targets at like 100 yards, some smaller steel targets.
Yeah.
And we were like, what is going on? And then he got to the birthday ammo that I gave him, and it was some hand loads, just 150 grain basic stuff. And he was like hitting it every time. So it was like... So his gun must not like that ammo for some reason. Might be a different bullet weight or something.
Yeah, interesting.
So, anyways, he shot those two guns, and then I brought the CZ P10.
Nice.
Put a bunch of rounds through that, as well as the Beretta 92 and the Beretta CX4 carbine.
Oh, nice.
That was kind of fun. I need to put a red dot on that.
Yeah.
The iron sights are just... I don't know. I like certain guns with iron sights.
Yeah.
Like AKs, I like iron sights.
Sure.
And those surplus rifles, I like iron sights. But when it's kind of like a PCC, like pistol caliber carbine, it just makes sense to have some kind of an optic to shoot faster and, a little bit more accurate.
Yeah.
So I need to throw a red dot or something on there.
Yeah.
But that was fun. Noah, my dad, and I went shooting up there. And I also brought... Let's see. Well, we brought a couple other guns, like some lever actions, and it was fun. I brought my 92, Rossi 92.
Right.
And that one was just a blast, 357.
Never disappoint.
It's just always fun. So, shot that, some cast loads. Anyways, it was great time, super quiet up in the mountains, and, shooting in a gully, and snow started coming down.
Oh, really?
We had to,
It was a bit stormy this weekend.
It was stormy. It was crazy. We had sleet, snow, rain, etc.
Everything.
Yeah, so I cleaned my dad's guns when we got back just to
What? I didn't know
out.
You knew how.
Yeah, I know how. I just knew his hadn't been cleaned in longer than mine, so I put a fresh coat of oil on them and stuff.
Yeah.
So and we have a drier climate here.
Much drier,
than Washington. So anyways, we did that on Friday. And then Saturday, I got to go to a prom date
Okay.
So
I'm a little scared.
No, it's actually pretty cool. My neighbor, he's I don't know, 17 or whatever.
Okay.
And he asked me, he's like, hey, would you be able to do a shooting activity for, his prom date?
For the date?
Yeah. And so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And so we went out and, it's just 2 couples, so just four kids.
Nice.
Of course, I brought Noah with me because he's like my best handy helper.
Range officer.
Yeah, he's like pretty good with guns, and
sure,
I trust him. He's like safe and everything. Trust him better than a lot of adults.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, we went out and I had the boy pick out about 12 guns, and so it was a pretty awesome variety. The Desert Eagle. I even broke out the AR-50, so the 50 BMG.
Wow.
That one is quite an experience to shoot. If you haven't shot a 50 BMG, you need to.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I had a little bit of, it's chilly out there, so I had a little bit of runny nose, and when I pulled the trigger, it just cleared out my nose. I was like, whoa.
There you go.
All right. Yeah. And we had some of the kids. I was like, hey, stand just to the left of me when I pull this trigger. They were like, whoa, it almost knocked me over. Those brakes on those things are crazy.
They are.
They're super effective.
When you're behind it.
Yeah, when you're behind it. And if you're to the side, though, it just dust and everything blows around.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did that, and they wanted a lever action, so we had a lever action and then an old school single action revolver.
Nice.
And they really liked that too. Those were like pretty, low recoil.
Yeah.
So it worked out well for them. And then I brought the space gun, which was the Chris Vector in
nice.
10 millimeter.
Nice.
And then I have the TV box on top.
Yeah.
The Vortex. What was that?
Just to make it look even more weird.
Yeah, the AMG UH1.
Yeah.
And so they thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And we shot also, what was it? Oh, I brought my favorite surplus rifle. So the
1911.
Yeah. The Swiss rifle.
Nice.
And first shot, 300 yards, iron sights.
Nice.
Boom. So they got a kick out of that just because it was.
So were their dates? Had they shot before? Or was it
so one of them
experience?
had never shot a gun before, and the other had only shot 22s once.
Okay, so very new then.
Yeah, and then the boy, one of the other guys, he very minimal shooting, and so they just,
what did they think?
All had the time of their life.
Good.
Yeah, we started out, of course, with my favorite starter gun.
Yeah.
It's the CVA.
The 300 blackout.
Yep, break
Single
action.
shot.
Yeah, and then suppressed and the bunny fart loads, and so we started them out with that as well as the Thompson Center Encore pistol.
I
had the Q Full Nelson suppressor on there. And so both tables shooting that, and it was fun. They were lobbing them out there and hitting steel targets out to about 200 yards maybe.
Nice.
And cool. So that is the best starter gun.
For sure.
So we started with quiet guns without hearing protection. It was nice to get them used to the range rules, everything. We had a little safety thing at the beginning.
Good.
But yeah, it's nice, and you don't have to wear the earplugs, and you can talk normal. And
right.
So we shot a bunch of suppressed guns first, and then brought out the other ones. AR-15, AK. The AK I brought out is actually a Saiga 223.
Oh, okay.
So I just wanted to kind of standardize on ammo.
Yeah.
Bring a little bit less.
Sure.
Desert Eagle, that was fun for them.
Yeah.
It was fun for me to watch. But,
Nobody got hit in the forehead with the barrel?
No. The one girl who had never shot before, they recorded in slow motion, and it came up, so it was about vertical, but didn't smack her in.
So at least you prepared them.
Yes,
they knew what they were getting into. We one of those jerks that here, pull the trigger on this,
smack.
Yeah.
And I helped her with her grip, but then she changed her grip like after I had helped her. So the left hand stayed in place, and the right hand with the gun went up. Like after she pulled the trigger. But I will say that it's always important to just put one in the chamber.
Oh yes.
There's recorded incidents where people have accidentally committed suicide by kind of a bump fire type thing with the 500 Magnum or the Desert Eagle.
Right.
It recoils enough, it points at their head, and then
or people behind them or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
just a bad thing. You always want to prepare them.
Yeah.
You know, work your way up to it, and load one.
Yep.
So it was great. They had a good time. Noah and I got to shoot some guns too.
Cool.
And had a good time. So
nice.
Yeah.
Last episode we had a news story. The guy that was getting carjacked.
Yeah, he threw his keys
down. He launches
down.
his keys, runs behind a car, draws his gun, shoots once, hits one guy right in the neck, and then runs into his house for cover. And so I've been thinking about that, and I saw a video, I think it was on Instagram probably, that used a similar technique, but this was a very unique situation. So, surveillance camera from like a convenience store, and you see two kids. One, they're both wearing hoodies and backpacks, and one's at the counter talking to the worker. The other one's crouched down in one of the aisles, kind of hiding, and you can't hear anything, but you can see him point, the guy at the counter pointing to the opposite end of the counter, asking about something. The worker goes down that way, so he's moving away from the hidden guy. And these are like high school age kids probably.
Yeah.
And as soon as he is down at the other end, the other guy just starts grabbing stuff off the shelves and shoving it in his backpack.
Oh, jeez.
Well, while this is happening, a guy comes in with a shotgun. And so the kid at the counter, like, backs up to where his buddy is and kind of crouches down so the guy with the shotgun doesn't see him. And it's like one of those Mossbergs with out the stock
like just
with
a pistol. Yeah, pistol grip or something.
And he's, being the robber and thrusting it and yelling at the guy and everything.
So he's getting like double jacked?
Yeah, exactly.
Must be California.
It must be. I didn't see where it was. So the two kids are talking, and one of them goes around to the other aisle, on the other side of the aisle. So he's like directly behind the bad guy with the shotgun. The other kid, they have skateboards. He gets his skateboard and he rolls it down the aisle and it hits the counter, and the bad guy looks down at the thing. The other kid tackles him. He drops the shotgun, but the kid didn't follow through. He just kind of knocks the guy down, drops the shotgun, and the kid gets off of him and kind of runs another direction. So the guy's totally, freaked out, doesn't know what's going on. Gets up, picks up the shotgun, and throws it on the counter and runs out while the clerk picks up the shotgun and points it at the guy running out. I was like, oh my gosh, but to the credit of the two jerky kids who were robbing the guy to begin with, I'm like, they came up with a plan, like, immediately. I'll distract him, you take him down, and it worked. They should have stayed on him, and the other guy should have got the gun away from him or whatever, but they're just dumb kids. But I thought, okay, that was effective. They got lucky.
Yeah.
Because he stood up and just picked up the shotgun. I don't know why he just threw it on the counter and ran out. I wonder if it was an airsoft gun or something like that. You've seen that same style. But anyway, it went back to the distraction and then being effective at eliminating the threat. And it made me think about another situation. I have a cousin who, for a while, was a sales rep for SIG. He told me a story. He was in San Francisco, going to different shops and showing the latest, greatest, whatever. And he had 2 cases with pistols in them. And he's in the shop, and he's got his cases open, and he's showing the stuff to the sales guys and the owner or whoever. And he says, I noticed this other guy in the store, and this is like one of those shops where they have to buzz you in.
Yeah.
Because it's in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And everybody's a bad guy. But, and he just kind of took notice of this guy. The guy came in and out like twice, I think, and then and left. And so when he's leaving, so he's got a case in each hand, and he's walking out to his car, and this guy all of a sudden approaches him and pulls a knife and says, give me the guns. And he just looked at him and smiled, and he just let go of both of the cases, so they drop to the ground, boom, and the guy's head goes down to the cases. And when he looks up, there's a revolver pointing at his face. And he said, "You just brought a knife to a gunfight, my friend." So he took the guy's knife and let him go. But again, the distraction, and then he had time to draw his gun, which he probably wasn't legally carrying at the time in San Francisco. But good thing he was.
Yeah, maybe that's why he let the guy go.
I mean, probably, because he didn't have to explain anything.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's just stuff to think about, you know.
Distraction,
you know. And like the guy in the convenience store, when somebody's robbing a place, that's all they're focused on. They've got tunnel vision most of the time. They're not looking around to see who's in the store. I mean, sometimes, but for the most part, they're just focused on the guy behind the counter and the money. And so creating a distraction and stuff like that works in a lot of times. So something for people to think about. I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah. It worked for in those instances.
Yeah, so. Exactly. Well, you got anything else you want to talk about?
No, we're pretty much out of time. Even this is a really short episode.
This is a short one. We're sorry, but at least you got something. And we gave you some things to think about. If any of you have had situations like that, or seen or heard of situations like that where people are distracting the bad guy before they lower the boom, I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah. Send us some listener feedback. concealedtacodudes@gmail.com.
Yep. In the meantime, be safe. Go take somebody shooting.
Yeah, stay safe. Have fun.
And be nice to people.